Nasz kolejny gość to Meg. Meg jest pielęgniarką, mieszka w pobliżu Filadelfii, a właściwie to w Reading w pobliżu Filadelfii. Spróbujemy dowiedzieć się, jak sytuacja związana z owym nieszczęśliwym koronawirusem wygląda w tej chwili w Ameryce. Hello Meg, how are you?
Hey, how are you, Adam?
What's up? I mean, how is the situation in the States?
Well, it got pretty crazy, you know. Initially, the grocery stores were emptied, toilet paper, of all the crazy things. I mean, this virus only affects GI problems in a very small percentage, but you still cannot get toilet paper in our grocery stores.
Oh, it's in all over the world the same problem. Oh, the toilet paper.
It's nuts, right? It's crazy.
That's crazy.
I could see tissues. You know, think respiratory.
Yeah.
You could see tissues. But
or bad newspapers, you know. You can use bad newspapers too.
No kidding. Absolutely. Absolutely. But, you know, it's very frightening. Everything is a little scary because, you know, it's a pandemic. This is the fear that we always had from 1918, you know, when the flu hit then, and the stories I learned growing up about that. So it's very surreal. As far as being quarantined, I only live with my husband, but my son lives on the lane. I'm very rural. My son lives on the lane with me, so I get to see him and his wife and little boy. But other than that, we just wave to people. There's only a few people on our lane, so, you know, it feels a little odd. The beauty is we live like on a farm, so there's lots of things to keep us busy.
You are not close in the flat actually, but you got a garden
right.
and stuff around
right.
you. But actually, the worst situation probably is in New York. Yes.
Oh, it's terrible in New York. It's frightening. The reports that we get, and Governor Cuomo, he is such a leader and doing his best for his state. You know, we have the president, but we have the governors of each state that really mandate everything that's going to happen in the state. So they're all trying to procure medical equipment, which is very hard to come by. You know, to try to get equipment that's 300 times more than what you normally would be using is difficult for everyone. So my husband, where he works, my husband is in a hospital, and he's in a post-acute, and their N95s are all removed and over to the hospital instead of the rehab. So that's a little frightening. Yeah, they have cloth masks. But my niece, who works in the emergency room in a hospital, she's able to have an N95, but one for the whole shift. So as you've read and saw on the news, everything that we've learned in nursing goes out the window in the circumstance as far as our personal protection and being careful about cross-contamination. You know, you're wearing one mask, you're wearing I guess they're changing their gloves in between, but not the mask. So that is a concern. And now we heard on the news that we're supposed to be wearing masks every time we go out, which is not what we were told earlier. So I'm concerned about that, because if people start getting masks from wherever they get them, that's masks that aren't going to be in the medical community.
Yeah, and what to do? Yeah, and what to do with these masks? Yes, after you use one mask, then you should throw it somewhere, and well.
Exactly. So every time you put it on, you're picking up the germs that you put on from the last time. But people are going to do that.
Yeah. And I've heard something about taking care about eyes also, because
right. To wear safety goggles if you're not somebody who wears glasses, to protect their eyes. Yes, absolutely. I don't know. If you ask me, a paper mask is the equivalent of a scarf. If I was going out and I had nothing to protect myself and was concerned, that's what I would do. When I go out to a grocery store, because I'm a nurse, in my car I have a box of gloves, I have antibacterial gel, and I have alcohol wipes. So when I go into a grocery store, I take a wipe, I wipe everything down, I put on gloves, I purchase everything, and when I come home, I make a clean spot and a dirty spot. I wipe everything down and put it over on the clean spot. I'll be doggone, I'm not going to get this virus if I have any say in it. You know?
And what about the others? I mean, you know what to do, and how the other people are. Do they take care as you, or there's a lot of people who are just?
I don't think so. I think I'm the oddball, you know. But I keep posting because I'm on Facebook. Every time I see something that I think is helpful, I post it because I keep trying to educate people. My job is a community health nurse. So my position up to, I retired from this position in September of June of last year. I took care of about 500 people who lived in high rises in the city. Nobody's replaced me in that position. So my concern really, you know, for those folks, I don't know what they're doing. I was in there the other day delivering Meals on Wheels, and it looked pretty like everybody was staying to their apartment, which was hopeful that, you know, they're going to be okay.
Yeah.
But, you know, when you live in dense housing, and everybody's going to be at risk.
The big cities like a New York or maybe Philadelphia or something like that, it could be closed for the others. I mean, if there's a lot of pandemic situations, the government could close these cities also in states or not?
Well, they talked about that, didn't they? They talked about it yesterday. But what they're asking, what all the governors of different states are asking, if you come from New York, is that you quarantine yourself for 14 days. At one point in Delaware, they were basically going door to door looking for New York plates, and we're going to quarantine those homes or remove them. But, you know, you can't do that. We're not different countries. You know, we're one United States. So it's a very difficult situation. I know quite a few people who have come down from New York, but they quarantined and were tested negative before they came down. Come down to parents' homes and such, brothers and sisters' homes. But New York City, when you see the pictures of it now, they're ghost towns. And you know, New York never sleeps. It's always active. Philadelphia, the same thing. And you're not seeing what they show us on TV. We're not seeing anybody moving around at all. Chicago, that's the next spot too. And now New Orleans, which really doesn't have the infrastructure as, you know, ever since Katrina, they've been hurt. And now they're, after Mardi Gras and all those people were down there, now they're the next hot spot. Florida, they just had all those crazy kids down there for spring break. And now they're going to have a spike in numbers. But I guess this is how it's going to go. It's just going to roll. It's going to roll across the country.
And how do you call these guys who got houses on the south and they move to the south when there is winter time and return back to their homes?
Snowbirds.
Snowbirds, yes.
Snowbirds.
So they will return back.
Right.
Do they have also?
What are they bringing back with them? And to think that they're getting on planes at this point.
So yeah. It will be the problem, actually. Okay, Meg. I think we can still be in connect. I mean, we will check out what's up in the States during this week. If you don't mind, we will call you again.
Sure.
And
I love that.
And you will tell us how are you and how are United States now and what's worse. I mean, Mr. Trump or the virus? We'll check it. Okay. Okay. So.
Well, I guess the virus, you know, but Now we can only hope for November, right? You know, vote blue.
Okay. So see you soon, and we will get in touch. Okay, bye-bye.
Okay, Adam. It was wonderful talking to you. Bye, Poland.